Hey there, everyone. This is Bagua Zhang Class Notes episode number 39. This week, we have been practicing basically the same warm-up that we've practiced over the last 3 to 4 weeks already. We just increased volume and intensity a little bit. So right now we are doing all 3 warm-up exercises, the strength drills for the legs and the hips, practicing 3 sets of 10 repetitions each. If you haven't seen those exercises before, please refer back to Class Notes episode number 38 and 37. This is where we filmed them. In yesterday night's class, we didn't film any warm-ups, any circle walking, but also in circle walking, we worked with a new cue that we also introduced last week. And this cue was the idea of your breath being even, Yao Ping, which connects to the first principle of Xiantian Bagua Zhang, which is called Yao Jing. So your intent must be calm, or should be calm. And the second principle, as I said before, is Yao Ping, so your breath should be even. And when circle walking or practicing Xiantian palm changes, the goal of yesterday night's class was not to find your even breath or change your breath so it becomes even, but the first introduction of this idea of Yao Ping is basically only about noticing what's happening to your breath. So while you're performing Xiantian circle walking or the palm changes, just simply note where your breath is flowing in and out unobstructed, or if there's areas when, for example, moving into lower stances, when you are forced to hold your breath in order to create more stability for your movement. So the goal being your breath to become even, but for now it's only about putting attention and putting a little bit of focus on the quality of your breath and how it changes while you're moving through the different movement patterns. So that was the second part of yesterday night's class. The third part was reviewing the first 2 movement patterns of line 2, which is Tuo Qiang Shi, as we filmed again before in episodes 36 to 38, I think. And now we are moving forward into the next pattern, which is Ye Shou Cang Hua, the second movement of line 2. And this is how it looks. So if you haven't seen that one before, I'm demonstrating it here. So it starts with a very interesting shape. You move forward, and here's the thing that we will talk about in the applications later. So you turn your hand, basically you're grabbing the arm of your opponent, and then you're moving forward and striking forward with your palm here while you're leading this hand here back and over your shoulder on the other side of your body. So this is a very specific move and very interesting in application. And then you basically simply move forward again with a Zuanquan-like fist, drilling forward and up. Okay, so here again the most famous pattern, the hidden flower. This is the flower, and it was hidden behind your arm here. And you're leading your hand to the opposite shoulder and kind of leading it up towards the shoulder as well. So then we talked about applications, and here is what we did. And this time I filmed basically 1 set, and we started with a simple partner drill to warm up. And the drill is that you're standing in a neutral stance here, both feet parallel, and then you are moving forward either to the outside of your partner here in a 45-degree angle, taking control over the arm of your partner and striking towards the face, and then moving back to neutral and stepping into the other 45-degree angle to the inside, but basically doing the same again, grabbing the wrist here and striking forward towards the center, towards the nose or the face of your partner, with the goal being to get in touch with the hands, of your partner. So from a position without any contact, you want to bind both hands and move into a superior position, which is away from center line and into a better angle. In this case, around 45 degrees, either to the left or to the right, or in other words, to the outside or the inside, from where you may continue. So now we filmed, or we practiced, or I explained the basic idea in Ye Shou Cang Hua, where you strike forward as we just did in the warm-up, with the goal to push your partner away. It's like a small stopping motion. Then you change your hand from this striking position to the arm, to the upper arm, where you use this hand to pull and yank your partner back towards you, and you try to lead that hand away from center line to your side, and ideally you lead that arm over your own shoulder while striking towards the ribs with the palm of your other hand. So let's see that again. Striking, pulling, and again striking towards the rib area of your partner. So when you practice with your partner, find a good spot where you can hit without actually hurting. Usually you would aim for the lower ribs here. This is the area where you can create the most damage, but also where you definitely will be able to fold your partner forward and break the structure and alignment, because this again is one of the most important aspects of our applications here. We want to move from a position without any contact into contact, and then breaking the alignment, to break the alignment of our opponent, and from there you can finish or continue with either striking methods or takedowns, whatever suits you best. Okay, so breaking the structure here by striking towards the lower ribs. So another important aspect here is that you want your arm to be in a very solid structure, so you need to open your elbow joint quite a bit. So it's not a straight elbow, of course not. That would hurt your own elbow, and the pressure would move back into your own shoulder, like so. But you need to bend. You keep your elbow bent in order to be able to transmit the greatest amount of force, but also to be able to hold your own structure, because depending on the size and the mass, the body mass of your partner, you will bump into some serious weight and some obstacle. Okay, so now it's time for my partner to practice here, and this time I just had the camera film continuously, so you can see how a cooperative practice may look like. Basically, I'm not moving at all here. I'm just giving her my body to practice with, and she can focus entirely on the pattern and to understand the perfect alignment first, before we make it more dynamic and put her application under pressure. Okay, so this is cooperative practice, not fighting or anything like that. It's just getting the main ideas down. And as you see, that's not as easy as it sounds, because here you already see that she is bending her arm way too far. So I'm correcting that here. She needs to extend her arm way more so she can actually handle the pressure which is coming in from the strike. She's also striking somewhere towards my chest, belly area, which also is not ideal, because there she can't really change my posture. Striking towards the ribs would be much more effective. What she does pretty well is that she's leading my upper arm pretty well over her own shoulder and off to the side, away from center line, right? So in the beginning phases where you actually really learn a new pattern, I basically have students only practice one side, so they get really familiar with it. But as soon as they are familiar with the pattern, it's very Bagua style, you have to practice both sides. Okay, that's it makes learning, it takes a longer time, but in the end it's worth it. So now we are connecting. We are connecting the basic pattern of this second movement of the second line, which is striking towards the ribs, pulling the arm of your partner over your own shoulder, with applications that we've practiced before. So the first one you will see is the application of Gai Zhang. Again, this is line 1, movement number 7. So after striking towards the ribs, I have one hand moving up and further destroying her structure, her alignment. I'm turning and rotating her body, which moves her weight towards her rear leg, which makes it very easy for me to move my hand here down towards the knee pit. That's the wrong name, I know. And then you basically just lean forward and take your partner down. It's a very commonly seen movement pattern in Bagua Zhang, leaning forward and then taking your partner down. This is the first application. First connection of line 2 movements with line 1 applications. The second version we've practiced was after striking towards the ribs, we now move up, and with closing our hands with a gable grip, we move into an arm triangle. From there, through cranking the neck here, it's very easy to manipulate the spine, and again, you will see that one leg, the front leg, will be very easy to sweep because the weight is on the back leg, because she has to compensate for the pressure which is coming in. You see that, how the pressure coming in through her spine puts the weight on her back leg, and it makes the front leg very easy to sweep. As someone already commented on Instagram, this arm triangle reap is very beneficial, very good to do with people which are a little bit taller than you, which is true. So a little bit taller, that might be like 10 to 15 centimeters taller to you. It's perfect to lift the hand, but it also, if you practice with a smaller partner like I did here, you need to bend your knees quite a bit to get down into that arm triangle position. Now the third application we did was this one here, where you rotate the spine through either moving your hand over the face of your partner, so you turn the head, so you turn the spine, and again this will break the structure and make the sweeping of this foot here, or kicking, very easy. This was just very exaggerated movement here, but instead of pushing the face into rotation with your hand, it would be just as well to strike towards the shin, so you make the head turn. It's a little bit more force, of course, and you might not be willing to do that with your training partner, at least not if you like them. But once you practice this in a less cooperative manner, with maybe wearing a helmet and some gloves, absolutely go for the strike. It's faster and it's just as effective as moving through the face. Just strike to the chin. And again, it was time for my partner here to practice. I will make my face a little smaller, not important right now. So again, you see the development of this cooperative practice. The first one is very familiar. We've practiced this quite a lot already. Gai Zhang was just a topic of a few weeks ago. So if you've never practiced Gai Zhang, this throw is really, really nice and powerful. It's simple to do, and even as the training partner who has to go down to the floor, this application feels quite nice. It's basically you have no chance of standing. You are thrown. Obviously only when your partner did the right work before the throw. So your partner needs to break your structure before attempting the covering palm, the Gai Zhang application. That's very, very important. So if she wouldn't strike towards my ribs and make me yank forward, this would be an impossible move. So be aware of that. In training, you can maybe you need your partner to work with you. Okay, so it's don't get tired as the training partner, but just do your job well and break your own structure here for the purpose of your partner getting a good sensation. And once you practice this in a more real-time scenario with both partners actually working towards the takedown or the application, then make sure that you hit strong enough so you actually break the partner structure before moving into the takedown. So the next thing here was going for the arm triangle, which is a position that's not very easy to find in the beginning, but once you have it, it sinks in perfectly well into that neck area here, and it's very easy to rotate the spine from this position. Also, she could basically just drop to the floor now and finish the whole thing with a beautiful arm triangle choke. Okay, so, but we are practicing Chinese internal martial arts, and there's no ground fighting included, at least not in this class. Okay, so again, closing the arm triangle here with a good gable grip, and then through cranking the neck, you rotate the spine of your partner. The weight moves back to the rear leg, which makes the front leg very, very easy to sweep. Okay, so that was the second application of Ye Shou Cang Hua. Yes. So that was number 2. And again, I didn't stop the video here just so you can see how we practice this cooperative practice in class. Basically, I just need to be a good training partner, and so my partner can do whatever she needs to do. And I'm happy to go down to the ground. So third application is rotating the spine and then sweeping the leg, or better, kicking the leg, because sweeping is a little hard here. You basically just kick through. So moving in and either strike towards the face or move your hand towards the face in order to rotate the spine, and from there you kick the front leg. Striking towards the ribs, striking towards the chin, and then kicking the leg. Yes, so it's the same basic pattern in the beginning all the time. So you might notice that I'm not waiting for her any longer. I am changing the dynamics just a little bit. I come in with a strike, so she has to react. That's the first way of increasing a little bit the pressure here. So I also reduce her reaction time by doing so. When you go back to the first applications we practiced in this video, I am just standing still and waiting for her to make the first move. Now I am already moving forward in order to create a little more pressure and see if she can still perform it in the same good way that she did before. That's application number 3 we've practiced last night, and this is also the last application we practiced. If you practice with a partner at home, again, like I said, do one side only first. And once you're familiar with that, please also practice the other side, the second best side, so you get used to both sides. Don't go too quick too soon. Always make sure that your partner can still react and find the application. So if I would speed it up even more, she might not be able to perform. See how she cannot handle the speed right now, so I have to move my speed back a little bit, make it slower again, so she can find it. As soon as I get the feeling that she can do it, I will increase the speed again to create more pressure. Still thinking. So a good rule of thumb would be, out of 10 repetitions, she would be able to finish 7. If she finishes all 10, you need to increase the pressure. If she only finishes 5, then you need to reduce the speed. Okay, that was Class Notes episode number 39, and I will see you back next week with episode number 40. See you there.